All right, so I just wanted to clarify what I'm doing with the seated practices here. I am not at all implying a deep state of meditation or even trying to teach that. Again, like with everything else I'm doing, I'm teaching some fundamental basics that will help all of those things. Basics that will help you meditate better, basics that will help you do advanced alchemy better, basics that will help your Tai Chi, Bagua, Xingyi, whatever other esoteric art, or that may just help you as a person live your life. So then it's not really trying to achieve anything other than what it really looks like. It's not trying to go anywhere except in the way that it will naturally evolve towards, which we don't try and contrive. So treat this a little bit like that. If you have other practices that use deep states or altered states of mind, then maybe you can try these exercises to see if they will support those practices. And once you get the hang of these exercises, you can use them as a kind of setup or warm up to prepare yourselves at the beginning of any of those exercises. For seated exercises, I really think it's useful to dedicate some amount of time to understanding how to maintain the structure. If I don't have any maintenance of structure, I will often find that I collapse. And in the collapse, I find pain, I find difficulties, and that can just go on until the end of time. Not only does long-term practice in a collapsed state actually damage the body, you'll also just find it difficult to get past these painful states. Some people in Zen circles and things like this use this intense pain to study the pain itself. It's fine, but it has physical ramifications, as I mentioned. So why not just spend a bit of time opening the structure, and then, of course, life will bring you pain in other ways. You can use that to study these things. There are two big components, as I like to talk about. One is the opening or inflation of the structure. Two is the sinking or releasing. The sinking and the releasing, yes, is a very physical thing to begin with, but at some point it's also the energy of the mind or the consciousness. I can put my attention on my breathing in my belly and forever remain like unreleased in my mind, watching my breathing from afar. If I release my mind and let the energy of my mind kind of move down and soak in and through the body and eventually settle at my point of attention, whatever that may be, then I'll have a much better chance of that thing evolving in a good direction. This should, I think, involve two parts. One is to spend a bit of time just on the structure, not even worried about the breathing or the mind or anything like this, just to bring our focus to holding the structure lightly open. And in this holding lightly open, we have a very, very particular cue, which you'll hear me use throughout. It's the idea of teasing the structure apart only until we feel the first resistance. So that means if I'm opening my shoulders, I don't do this where I feel a lot of tension here, like very, very stiff, nor do I have it completely released where I don't feel anything except my normal slouchy posture. I open my shoulders only to the point where I start to feel a little bit of something preventing them from opening any further. And I want to maintain that opening as if the moment tension released, it would just open even further. So it's like the opening is a potential for opening that doesn't get pushed too much. The release itself is something that will happen passively just through attentive listening. So I open, it reveals tensions of some sort, and then I just listen attentively to those tensions until they evolve or release of their own accord. As soon as they release and there's no more tension, I'm back into opening until I meet the next tension, and so on and so forth. And this is a kind of universal thing we do around the body. In essence, the first practice is identical to the standing version you've seen on my channel, hopefully already. We're just doing it seated with the exact same set of cues. And of course, when we do the breathing, I'll do it seated, but you're very welcome to take those ideas into standing practice too. They both work in both directions. So just try and see or feel the essence of these practices before you get stuck into them and too caught up on finicky details. If you have the essence right, all the details, all the cues are just pointing to this essence.